Hello and welcome. Ryan here from Fiscal Finance, and today we're going to go through a stock take. So, before we get into the stock take, I just want to inform you that if you do a stock take, you will be blocked from doing the following processes. You will not be able to complete purchase orders, stock transfers, write offs, sales performance, or stock adjustments. You may still modify purchase and sales orders, but absolutely no stock movement is allowed. And this is to protect the integrity of the stock take. So be very careful or cautious when you want to do a stock take. It's very important that you are prepared and able to do an accurate stock take when you perform the stock take on SYN7. Right. So there are a few ways that we can get to the stock take page. We can go into the inventory module on the left here. Under new, select stock take, or under the search, go to stock take and adjustments. Or you can click the plus button on the top of your page and under inventory, select stock take. Okay, so now the effective date that you see here, the effective date is going to be the date at which the expense account will be affected by the stock take or stock adjustment or stock take that you're going to be making. So we'll just keep that on today's date. The location, this is which facility or location within your business are you going to be doing the stock take. So I'm going to do a stock take in the main warehouse. Now the expense account, I'm going to set this as other expenses, and maybe you have a dedicated stock take expense account that you would like this data to be attributed to. Now the reference you're going to put here, whatever is the reference, why you're doing the stock take. So I'm going to write here annual stock take, and now because the stock take on SYN7 is so rigid and strict on stock movement, I would recommend running a more perpetual stock take for something more regular, and so you can use that in the stock adjustments section of SYN7. But for large stock takes, like the annual stock take that we would do, then you can do a full stock take over here. Right, include quantity on hand. Now, if you include the quantity on hand in the stock take or the stock take report that you will be given, there will be a quantity on hand that you should have. But if this is taken off in the stock take report, you will not get a quantity on hand amount for the person that's doing the stock take to see. Now there's reasons why you would, and there's reasons why you wouldn't have that on there. But I'm going to keep my quantity on hand. Comment you can write whatever comment you'd like for the reason or the particular categories that you're going to be doing a stock take for. And so you'll see here below that there's additional filters. So we can select a particular category that we want to do a stock take on. So I'm going to do maybe gloves. We'll leave it at that. We'll just do a stock take for gloves. I could also select on brand. I could select a certain brand, but I'm just going to keep it at gloves in my main warehouse. And there's two types of stock takes. There is a non-zero and a zero stock take. And I will explain those in a little bit. But before we do that, there are three methods that you can perform a stock take in. So there's a fairly manual process where you will get the stock report on SYN7 and you will manually input the data, which is what I'll show you in a little bit. You can run a barcode or scan the barcode of the products and then put the data in. And you'll see that now when we start the stock take as well. Or there is the import-export method where you export maybe a stock take template, or you export the quantity on hand stock that you have, and then on that Excel sheet, maybe you print that out for your for the person performing the stock take to have, and they walk around the warehouse recording the stock that they have, and then you import that data, or you put that data onto the spreadsheet, and then you import that spreadsheet back into Cin7, and it will do it that way. So we are going to do the manual version. So if I want to do a non-zero stock take, these are the items that will have actual stock available in my warehouse, whereas a zero stock take, that will be items where I should have a zero amount. I should have no stock of that item in my warehouse, but we're going to do a non-zero stock take right now. So let's click start. And remember, when we click start, absolutely no stock movement is allowed. Okay, so as you can see, now we have an in progress stock take. We can scan the barcode, as I mentioned before. So if I do that, I can now scan barcodes if I had a scanner plugged into my Cin7, which I don't. I'm just going to do it manually. And so we're just going to scroll down a little bit. And you'll see here that I've got all of my items now. Now this quantity on hand, again, this is the quantity on hand. If I want to include it, then which I have, then I will see it on my report. If I didn't want it included, then I would have just the stock quantity on my report. Okay, so I'm going to fill this in, and then we will complete the stock take. Okay, so I have put in all of the details. And again, you can sort this by quantity on hand or the stock take quantity that you have put in once you've completed the stock take. And if you would like to see more items on this page, you can just show the specific amount of items that you want, up to 100 items. It just makes the process a little bit easier, so you don't have to flip between pages. And yeah, okay, so as we can see, I have completed my stock take, and it looks like I have 100 missing Fairtex gloves in my warehouse. So now I can go back to my warehouse and actually verify that I in fact don't have any stock, but maybe it's lying in a corner somewhere and I forgot, and I just missed it. So let's go back and we'll adjust this. So now I found the 100 units of those gloves, and we're back to where is it there? Okay, so now we have no variance. And you can see that there are some items that have less, and if there are less items in my warehouse, after the stock take is completed, it'll come up as a red number. Whereas if I have more, it won't come up as red, but I will see a variance, and that variance, for example, for this item, I have a variance of 3 extra gloves. So maybe this was a miscount. Maybe these red gloves are the 103. Maybe I took 3 from the blue gloves, or whatever the case may be. You can see the variance over here. Okay, so now we're going to say complete, and that the variances and the cost thereof have been attributed to this expense account. And now if I go into my zero stock, you can see that I have no items with zero stock. Okay, so I'm not going to perform a zero stock on hand report, but that would be how you would do it. And so now the stock take has moved to complete. Now I can move my stock around my warehouse, and sales can continue, and I can do all of the normal processes that I run. And that is how to complete a stock take.